We love your solution. Why those words may cause you to lose a deal, and even worse, create a fake pipeline. In this short video, I'm going to share some ideas how you can avoid getting caught into the fake pipeline syndrome, trying to chase deals that will never close, and a couple of ways to solve that. My name is Jens Edgren, author of the book The New MEDDICC, Sell More Faster. All right, sure, first a little bit background. Maybe you've been in a sales meeting, maybe as a manager, a seller, a CEO, and you've seen the same deals show up every week, every month, and sometimes even every year, and nothing seems to happen. And we might ask ourselves the question, why? So the number one reason why a deal is not moving is that we lack connection, approval from what I call the economic buyer. In the concept of MEDDICC, the E stands for economic buyer. That is the person who can actually approve the spending and the priority. Today, the priority is sometimes more important than the money itself, because the world is always changing, and what is prioritized may depend on many factors. Could be global situation, could be competitive situation, could be direction from shareholders, could be anything, and you need to stay atop of that game. So most likely you are in great connection with your champion, and the champion is the person who needs the solution, who want to buy from you, who really loves the stuff it could do for them. It could be production management, software management, it could be energy management, it could be everything they need to make everything good in their, from their standpoint in the organization. But in order to get those goodies, they need to get approval and the money to go do that. And that's where the economic buyer comes in. The economic buyer has a different perspective. Most likely it's about making money, saving money, and avoiding risks. So these three things are things they wake up in the morning with and go to bed with. And then there will come some kind of a prioritization. We talk about data-driven organizations today. Yes, that's true. But honestly, what does people actually do? They do what it feels right. And sometimes what it feels right may not be the best thing to do. But anyhow, that's what we do. Think about your own life. What are some of the things you prioritize? Are they the best things to do long term, or there are things that feels right in the moment? So in order to cut to the chase, you need to talk to the economic buyer. If you can, directly, and if you can't, make sure it's going to happen. And the further you are away from the economic buyer, the more fragile the deal is. And that's what I see when I coach so many people every week. I see deals coming up, say, who is the economic buyer? Have you talked to them yet? And typically, no access, can't do that, champion won't let me, etc. That's a sign the same thing will show up the week after next and the week after next. And then it's going to be closed lost or postponed deal and then closed lost. All right, so what do we do? I think every person in sales knows about this. I've been in sales for 37 years, coaching salespeople around the globe, been selling sales training to so many companies over the years. I am the same boat as you are, all right? So the three timings where we can actually get to economic buyer is in the early stage of the sales cycle. Hey, who's got the money? Whose name's going to be on the contract? And who would gain most if this happens? Three good questions. So would it make sense to talk to these people right now? It's going to speed up the deal. It's going to make it happen. It's going to make everybody happy. Could you arrange a conversation? Could you help me to talk to the person? First attempt. It may not work. If it works, you are lucky. You're going to win. Second attempt, in the middle of the sales cycle. So you spent the resources, you spent the pre-sale resources, you answered their RFP questions, you done the demos, you went through the solution many times, and you worked on the details, all right? So before you send the proposal, before you put more resources into the deal, You can just do like one of my coaching clients did. You call the customer up and say, hey, we've done everything we can. There's nothing else we can do. So we're just, have you got your management to sign off a strategic initiative yet? Have you got the management to say, yeah, we want to do this? Have you got the direction from your top leaders yet to proceed? And sometimes our champion says no. All right, hey, then I'll just wait until you got that decision. Let me know how we can help you. We can work on a pitch. We can work on something, but we need to get some kind of a green light before we spend more resources. There's no use spending more time on the deal. And that type of conversation will help your stakeholder to actually go back to his or her boss and say, hey, are we really going to do this? Will this actually happen? And that might be a wake-up call for your coach or your champion, that they can actually get some kind of a direction, some kind of interest. Now, the last stage is, of course, the most difficult. You sent the proposal, maybe you're already negotiating, but we are still waiting for that green light, the approval, right? Now we have to use stronger forces because the world is a little bit against us here. So, and sometimes the champion doesn't want us to see the top leader because maybe there is something that's not really clear here. So we have to use stronger forces and say, hey, this deal will not close unless we get to the person with the power. So would it be crazy to hook me up with that person to organize the meeting? And if the champion says no, well, there's nothing more I can do. So until we have some kind of a green light, I guess we're both going to do something else. It's a hard stop. It's an exit. And you simply pull yourself out of the deal because every hour, every minute, every day you spend, it's going to be a waste day, wasted minute, wasted hour. It's a horrible message for me to say because I know you've been working so hard on the deal and it's not going to happen unless you get in front of that economic buyer. The reality is brutal today. And that might be the thing that will help you to get in front of the economic buyer. You got 3 minutes window, you got 5 minutes window. I've been in situations where I walked and talked with the CEO on the way to another meeting, closing the deal between meeting 1 and 2. I coach people to do the same thing. And I got this great story about a seller. We're selling army supplies, and she got 3 minutes to walk with a top commander of the Swedish Air Force on a staircase, just showing an idea about, defense idea. And the top commander said, this sounds great, let's go do that. Hand it over to my ADs. And half a year later, the deal was closed. She got 3 minutes walking up a staircase with the top commander. It's like an American movie. And actually, that's what you need. You need 60 seconds, you need 3 minutes, you need 5 minutes, maybe you need 20 minutes, but you cannot have more, okay? No demos allowed, no PowerPoint presentations allowed, no proposals allowed, unless they are very analytical, all right? So you gotta be quick and fast. So why not just, reverse our success and start at the early stage and say, hey, my experience, if this great idea will come to life, we need to see your top guys. When can we do that? And the more self-assured you are, the easier it's going to get. Because the champion will go back and say, hey, the seller needs to see you, otherwise nothing's going to happen. That was the approach of the old company with the 3-letter IBM. They used this approach in every deal. They used the power, the self-security. Might say they had the logo that helped them to do that. But I believe it's more a question of personal power than anything else. If you get that self-security, you're going to give that to your champion. And that champion will do it so it feels natural to come to the economic buyer. And if the champion can't do it, find another one. Find the champion of the champion. Find the champion of the champion of the champion. And you're going to work your way up the corporate ladder. And suddenly, one day, you're going to be in front of that top manager, and you got that 2 minutes window. And you're just going to pitch it right the first time. Bam, that's it. It may take 5 years, it may take 3 years, it may take, 3 months. But that's what you're looking for. Always see the economic buyer eye to eye, physically, or on a web meeting. Okay, here's the last idea. Go buy some shares in the company you're trying to sell to. Go to the shareholder meeting. You know, it's going to happen once a year. And walk up to the CEO before the meeting. It's not going to happen, but you can do it after the shareholder meeting. Shake the hands, present yourself, and just, you know, give it all for about the 20-second window you have now. Be the last one to shake the hands and close the deal right there, right now. My name is Jens Edgren. These ideas might sound ridiculous, but if you've been in sales for a while, you know, without an economic buyer, deal's not going to happen. And with an economic buyer, deal's going to happen. That's what I'm here to coach you. You can book a call with me. You can give me some free advice, and we're going to close more deals together. MEDDICC, close more deals faster.